Step Out, Step In is a weekly podcast to encourage, motivate, inspire you to step out of your comfort zone, to step in to what you have been designed for and to do. Hello, this is David Joe. Please join me this and every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Step Out, Step In podcast, live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page, like and follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn. One more favor, share and comment. Hope to see you on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's another Monday, a new month. And again, I want to welcome you all to my Step Out, Step In weekly podcast on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You know, I want to say we want to thank the Lord for crossing us over into the 7th month of the year, the second half of the year, and the beginning of the third quarter of the year. It is such a wonderful and amazing time for us to be here and for what God is doing. And again, thank you for tuning in to episode 35. Can you believe that? This is episode 35 of my weekly Step Out, Step In podcast. And thank you, Chi, thank you so much. And if you're on here, I just want you to do me a favor. If you can share the link with at least one person, let that one person also share the link with another person. and let's get it rolling tonight. And you know, every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be hosting the live Step Out, Step In podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And again, I would like to say a big thank you for everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube page. Let me throw a challenge. If you can help me get the numbers up within this week, if we can bump it up to 100. We're now showing about 38, but if we can help me bump the numbers up, let's do that. And I believe it's going to be a wonderful time. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. And don't forget to click on the notification bell when you subscribe, so anytime something is posted or anytime I post something, you will be notified. And follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn, And if you can support this page, there's a link in there that says "Buy me a coffee." Let me see if I can drop that link in the um, in the comment section, in the comment box. Okay, let's see. It says "Buy me a coffee." All right. Okay. Let's see. Bear with me. Okay. Okay, now let's see. All right, so I just dropped a link in there. It says buy me a coffee, where if you click on it, it will take you to the page where a $5 donation will go a long way to improve the page, to improve the this podcast. All right, so this is episode number 35. In episode 35, I'll be talking about the rules of engagement for a leader. In our organization, July is our month of leadership. And I want to take this opportunity to also talk about leadership. And we want to talk about the rules of engagement for a leader. So if we say the rules of engagement, what is the rules of engagement? Formally, rules of engagement refer to orders issued by a competent military authority that delineate when, where, how, and against whom a military force may be used. And they have implications for what actions soldiers may take on their own authority and what directives may be issued by a commanding officer. These rules of engagement has really broadened up now, and it is extended. And we can also look at another explanation or another definition of rules of engagement as a procedure that are put in place so that everyone knows what is expected and what can work best together as a team. Now, let me say that again. Rules of engagement are procedures that are put in place so that everyone knows what is expected and can work best together as a team. I say that the world is looking for effective transformational leaders, and I see you as one who can always make a difference, who can always be a difference. Now, leadership is not a title, leadership is not a position. Leadership is about influence. We have people that can influence one person that can be themselves. We have people that influences a group of people, majority, minority, whatever. But leadership is about influence, nothing more, nothing less. And as a leader, let me say this, integrity is key. Integrity is the ability to live with nothing to prove and nothing to hide. It means that you are the same person in the office, you are the same person in the spotlight. You don't change, you don't become a chameleon where you change to the environment. It means that you are the same person. And on the platform and off the platform, you are true and you are consistent. You do not change depending on the situation or depending on the company you find yourself in. You are who you are. And without a commitment to integrity, you may fool others for a while. But guess what? When your true colors begin to show, your integrity, or when your true colors begin to show, and and inevitably they will, no matter what, it will show forth. It will, no matter, your true colors will show. your leadership credibility will be proportionately affected. And that is how a lot of leaders or have lost their integrity, because they tend to adjust to the season and the kind of people they are with. Whether you're relating to your boss, your peers, or a member of your team, or they're a member of the team you lead, consider and adopt the following rules of engagement and set a functional attitude that will serve as your compass for interactions with all types of people. Now, I decided to make this in a two-part series. So the first part will just deal with a few of these rules of engagement. So I want to talk about a few keys of the rules of engagement. And again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you can share the link with at least one person, I will be so grateful. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you can leave a comment too. All right. So let's look at a few keys to the rules of engagement for a leader. Number one, the key should be focused but kind. You have to be a focused leader but kind. You know, there's no room for rudeness in the kingdom of God. Let me put it that way. And therefore, no room for rudeness in the demeanor of a leader who is a follower of Christ. Now, I didn't do the introduction, but I'm a person of faith, and as a person of faith, there's no rudeness in God's kingdom. There's no room for rudeness in the demeanor of a leader who is a follower of Christ. Now, if we call ourselves followers of Christ, we have to lead by example, because the Christ we follow was never rude. He never. So we have to emulate him. We have to follow his examples. Will people upset you? Absolutely. Will they let you down? Oh yes, that is 100% yes. And at times, will they deserve your disapproval? More than likely, yeah. But playing the role of a judge and a jury is not the job of a leader, or more so a Christian leader. Let me put it that way. You know, as a person of faith, let me refer to the scriptures a little bit. In Matthew chapter 7 and verse 1 and 2, reading from the New International Version, it says that do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. You know, humanity is really quick to judge. Sometimes we are so quick to judge. And being quick to judge, that is what the scriptures is telling us. When we judge, yes, we will also be judged. But I think that as leaders, we have to give everybody the chance. We have to have the benefit of the doubt. So we are called to maintain our focus without being rude. You and I are called to maintain our focus without being rude. Even in the face of pressure and in the face of disappointment. When you're faced with pressure, when you're faced with disappointment, you don't have to be rude. You know, a lesser focus on the task at hand should never negate the necessity of softness, or the necessity to soften your voice and pad out your sentence. In our fast-paced world of emails, text messages, IMs, instant messaging and all that, a great deal of kindness and good intent is lost in translation. I said the other time that, every now and then I go on social media and I observe live comments from live events. And sometimes some of these comments can be really rude and demeaning. Unfortunately, some people mistake rudeness for strength. Rudeness is not strength, ladies and gentlemen. Rudeness is not strength. Rudeness is just rudeness. If you're rude, you're rude. It's not strength. It doesn't make you strong as a leader. On the flip side, some people mistake kindness for weakness. And not so. Kindness is not being weak. Kindness is godly, and it's also one of the fruits of the Spirit. Let me say this as a person of faith. Jesus himself taught us that the meek are blessed and can expect a great inheritance. The Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5, he said, meekness, humility, and kindness are signs of maturity and strength. Let me give you the reference, the scripture, Matthew 5:5. Kindness moves, and kindness moves you forward politely. Kindness makes tough decisions respectfully with humility and in a way that is best. And that is what kindness does. It kindness makes tough decisions respectfully with humility and in the best way possible. It puts you in a place where you're able to make decisions in the best way possible. So I was looking at the rules of engagement, the keys to the rules of engagement. Number 1 is focused but kind. Always be focused but kind. Number 2 is bold but inclusive. Bold but inclusive. I wish I could have all the bullet points put on there, but I'm still working on it. Bold but inclusive. While you are bold in making tough decisions, you should remain sensitive and open to inputs and contributions of others. You have to remain open. However, in your boldness, you should never be so far ahead of your team that they can no longer see you. They can no longer catch up with you. Now, when you sound the charge, be sure that you do not run so far ahead of them or ahead of you or ahead of the rest of your team. If that happens, the rest of them will pull back and relax while you get the job done alone. You see, I decided to do this. I said in our organization, July is our month of leadership. And everybody has a leadership ability and capability on the inside of them. And one of the things is you do not have to be so in charge that your team leaves the work to you alone or become afraid of taking their own initiatives. Let's make room for mistakes to be made. Let's make room for failure. When you're falling, fall big so you can learn from it and be better and get better moving forward. Great leaders know how to stand at the front while still making others feel valued and respected as co-laborers. As a leader, you have to value people. You have to value people. As a leader, you envisage, you meditate, you strategize, and then you communicate your vision with the team. People take time to catch up, so give them the space to do so. Not everybody will catch up the same day you implement something or you throw out something out there. It takes time for others to catch up. And ensure that you are an inclusive leader. You involve yourself in what you are implementing or what the vision is, what the vision you cast. Ensure that you are inclusive. And that makes you an inclusive leader. An additional strength of any great leader is the ability to create a world so large that to create a world so large that it has the capacity to include big thinking, high achieving people with it. People with big opinions and big ideas. These people need to be sought out, welcomed, and encouraged on the team. One thing that keeps some organizations so small where they can really, or they don't want to grow, is because the leader is so intimidated by big people with big ideas. Ultimately, they force big people away. Sometimes I've seen it in some organizations. It looks like you become a threat, and sometimes you're forced away. They do not mean to most of the time, but they create a small world where there is no room for ideas, there's no room for initiative, there's no room for creativity, and other than their own. Now, as a leader, as a transformational leader, as an effective leader, you build your team, you listen, you welcome opinions. Of course, opinions, everybody has an opinion. My bishop says it very well that opinions are like armpits. Everybody has two. I added one to it that sometimes it stinks. But welcome the opinions. Earn respect. Utilize gifts and talents. Then you will become a leader who is bold and achieves the task while including great people along the way. I said this is in two parts. I didn't want to do everything today, so I broke it down into two parts. So this is the part one of the rules of engagement of a leader. And number three is humble. Be humble, not timid. So it's be humble and not timid. Let's see here. Just one moment. All right. So just before I get into number three, watch the space, and I will be right back. All right, again, welcome, and thank you for tuning in. Those of you tuning in now, I want to welcome you to episode 35 of my weekly Step Out, Step In podcast, live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. If you're just tuning in, please help me share the link with somebody, and let that one person or let that somebody also share the link with another person. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so and subscribe to our YouTube page. And don't forget to click on the notification bell. So anytime I post something, you will be notified. All right, so I've been talking about the rules of engagement of a leader. And I said number one is you have to be focused but kind. As a leader, you don't have to be rude. You don't have to. Rudeness is not a prerequisite of a leader, most especially a godly leader. I said, will people upset you? Absolutely yes, people will upset you. We are human beings. And will they let you down? Yes, 100%. Sometimes yes. You know, and 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 at times they will deserve your disapproval, and it's more than likely that they would do that. So number one, be a focused but kind leader. Number two is be a bold but inclusive leader. There's being inclusive is when you're part of what is being done. You cast a vision. You're part of implementing it. You're part of you're included in what you do, and you know it says that bold people win the day. And being a bold leader and an inclusive leader, you are going to win. You are going to win. And number three is humble, not timid. Humble, not timid. Looking at the time, let's see. I think. All right. Okay. All right. So let me deal with a humble, not timid. All right. You see, you cannot achieve significant goals if you are timid. You cannot achieve significant goals if you are timid. You will need to step out of the proverbial boat from time to time. In fact, most of the miracles that will happen in your life will take place after you have conquered fear, after you've conquered mediocrity, after you've conquered intimidation and preference, complacency, or whatever else may be hindering you. That is when the miracles do happen. You know, when Jesus' disciples saw him walking on the sea, on the water, towards them, that early hours of the morning, the waters were it was stormy, it was raging, it was boisterous. You know, Jesus defied gravity and he was walking on it. You know, sometimes I read a story and I think, oh, the waters was calm. No, it was never calm. It was boisterous, stormy, raging. And when they saw Jesus, they were so much afraid they thought he was a ghost. So it is not only you, it's been there way back. But Jesus had to identify himself to the disciples. And they were all faced with the same opportunity. Only one of the 12 overcame his fear and stepped out of the boat in response to Jesus' beckoning. He asked Jesus that if it is you, that is Peter, he says, if it is you, bid me to come. He gave a whole sentence, Jesus gave him one word answer, come. And out of that one word answer, he took it, stepped out of the place of comfort, because on a stormy sea, the comfortable place they found themselves in was in the boat. And out of that, he stepped out. And this is what Peter is famous for, walking on the waters while the other 11 remained in that security and a place of familiarity and a place of comfort. And that was in the boat. Miracles, ladies and gentlemen, happen outside your comfort zone. Let me say that again. Miracles happen outside your comfort zone. You know, dynamic leaders demand that you step out and you step up. Not all leaders are naturally self-confident people. Don't get me wrong. Not all leaders. But we can, you and I can All possess a keen sense of God confidence, standing strong in the midst of challenges, adversity, not because of what we believe about ourselves, but because of who we believe. Our confidence does not come from the past or the picture we have of the future, but from God. That is where our confidence comes from. God, who is present through it all and calling us towards the goal. That is where our confidence comes from. You know, it is a humble confidence, ladies and gentlemen. Humility is not the same as timidity. Often we mistakenly use the word humble interchangeably with the word timid. We think that if somebody is humble, that person is timid. No. While timid people rarely step out of their boat, humble people lean on the strength greater than themselves and obey the call. A humble person knows they do not need to prove themselves. You don't have to. Humble people know they don't have to prove themselves. you know, your greatest season of growth in leadership comes when you get past the point of thinking you have to prove yourself, or that you somehow have to show the world who you are. Not too long ago, we all were faced with this pandemic in the world which we had never seen, we have never experienced. It came in not to, how should I say it? It came in not to expose us, but it came to reveal us. And that was where true leadership, really, we saw that true leadership. You know, so as soon as you pass that mindset, you can step easily into the strength of humility. Humility is being secure in who you are and in God who called you. You know, the converse of humility is pride. You know, however, pride is not always as obnoxious as you may think. It can be much more subtle than outward. Gloating about status or possessions. Pride is often an inability or resistance to change. I've heard some leaders say that is who I am. I cannot change and I'm not changing. That is pride. And of course, many people don't like change. The only people that like change are babies with a wet diaper. You know. And God willingly and joyfully gives grace to the humble. He also resists the proud. God is not necessarily talking about the boisterous show-offs. Pride is more often evident in a person who is not prepared to go through the often uncomfortable growth process required for change. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something called process. And if you and I want change, we want to be effective transformational leaders, there's a process we have to go through in order to implement that change. We cannot bypass the process and get to the end product. It is also the reason that many leaders today fall short of their ordained potential. Humility is not a weakness, and it is not timidity. Humility shows itself in a person who knows who they are and who they are not. That is humility. It shows. Humility ascribes appropriate authority and powers to God. Humility submits to his beckoning and believes that though every challenge and through every challenge, he is the source, he is the author, and he is the finisher. That we point it up to him, up to God. Humility does not seek validation, and it's open to correction for growth and effectiveness. So you don't have to be timid, be brave as a transformational and as an effective leader. Be humble, be teachable, be pliable, and willing to change through growth. You know, let's adopt the mindset that knows there is always something new to learn. Let's always adopt that mindset. That is always something new to learn. And in fact, that is one thing that I've been very conscious about. And I try to learn something new every day. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. As long as it's something that I didn't know, but it's new to me, I embrace it. Let's adopt that mindset that knows there's always something new to learn. Right, so watch the space, and I will be right back. Okay, this is not cooperating with me today. No, that's what you get for technology. You don't always get 100%. All right. Let's see if this is going to work out. Okay. All right. What I was trying to do, it didn't cooperate. So let's proceed. So, being a transformational leader and an effective leader, applying the rules of engagement. Number one, I said, focused but kind. Be focused but kind. Be a focused leader but kind. Don't be rude. Don't be arrogant. You know, sometimes rudeness and arrogance is like a bad breath. People will not tell you, but they will stay away from you. Number two is bold but inclusive. Be bold but inclusive. Be part of what you be part of as you cast the vision. Be part of it. Build your team. Listen. Welcome opinions and respect. Utilize gifts and talents. Then you'll become a leader who is bold and achieves the task while building great people along the way. And number three is humble, not timid. Be the humble leader and not timid. And I said you cannot achieve significant goals if you are timid. You need to step out of that proverbial boat from time to time. And and humility is not the same as timidity. So as a leader applying the rules of engagement, be humble and not timid. All right, so let me see if this is going to work this time. Just watch the space and I will be right back. Let's see here. Okay. He has decided to have a mind of his own. Okay. All right, so this brings us to the end of the first part of episode 35. God willing, next week, episode 36 will be Rules of Engagement of a Leader, part 2. And just before I sign off, let me see if this one will work this time. Okay. Let's see here. Bear with me in just a moment. Okay, let's see. Just bear with me. Okay. Sorry, it's not responding. All right. So once again, thank you all so much for tuning in to episode 35 of my weekly Step Out Step In podcast, live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page, please do so. You can follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn. And please comment, share, and you can also send suggestions as to what topics. Hey, this is David. I'm a pastor at All Nations Church, located down here in Stafford, Virginia. I want to personally invite you to worship. When you get here, you'll find a welcoming family. You'll participate in our uplifting praise and worship songs. You'll also hear a Christ-centered, dynamic message. We are a church to come discover, where we are restoring people. Located at 1449 Courthouse Road, Stafford, Virginia, and the zip code is 22554. We'll see you this Sunday. All right, so this Sunday, if you're looking for a Bible-believing, family-oriented church, I would like to personally invite you to worship with us this and every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as you saw, the address is 1449 Courthouse Road, Stafford, Virginia. So if you're within the Stafford, Quantico, Fredericksburg, Dumfries area, we want to personally invite you. We can wait to meet you and to worship with you. If for more information, you can visit us on the web, www.allnationsva.org. And okay, so I also want to introduce my spiritual father, Dr. Franco Fusopia, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube, the Ambassador of Hope page. He hosts us live, Ambassador of Hope, and these teachings are life-changing and destiny-shaping. It will help you, trust me, it will help you in your spiritual personal life, in your career, your business, your education, and many more. These are teachings that people pay thousands of dollars to go listen to, and he's giving it to us for free. You can go to his YouTube page, and on YouTube, YouTube is the Frank Ofosu-Appiah, the official. Facebook is the Ambassador of Hope page, and subscribe to his YouTube page if you haven't yet done so. And share the link and share with others, comment. And every Tuesday, let's join him at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right.
I trust that your week has been very good. I also want to remind you about ISI 2023, our flagship event. You do not want to miss this. And we are way ahead of the ball, but you are not ahead of the ball. Register, please register. Download the app, go on our site, register, invite people. It's going to be amazing. This level of speakers is epic. It's going to be amazing. So let's do that. And I'll see you very soon. Pray for me as I pray for you. God richly bless you. Bye-bye.
All right, so as you rightly heard, this is our flagship leadership conference. And this year is going to be epic. I've been attending these conferences for a couple of years now. And every year it is different. Every year it gets better. And this year I want to personally invite you that you just come in. I'm not going to say trust me, but come in and just see for yourself. These are world-class leadership conference speakers and teachers. We have Dr. Mensa Otabil, we have Dr. Sam Chand, we have Apostle Jane Alcon, we have Bishop Courtney Macbeth, and of course the conference host is my own spiritual father and mother, Dr. Frank and Reverend Mary Ofosu-Appiah. This year is going to be epic. Register, come in. It's not only for pastors and church leaders. It cuts across everyone. Just come in, and you would. I mean, I don't want to. I just don't want to mess it up for you. But come in and test it and see for yourself. You go back and say, "Wow, I've been missing all these for all these years." So for more information, you can always go to register, go to advancedlife.org, advancedlife.org, and register, or you can download the app on the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. Advanced Life, the app, you can register through that. Please download it, go to the website, register. Let's come in. It's only $150. Can you believe that? And you're served breakfast and lunch. And this is something I always say that we actually getting it for free, because the breakfast and lunch alone for those 2 or 3 days covers $150. So come in and let's have a wonderful time together. So for you to, you see, the one of the things that you can do for yourself is to invest in yourself. That is one of the greatest investments you can make for yourself, is to invest in yourself. And invest by attending some of these conferences that has the ability to change your life for good. And as you get better, you can always make other people better too. All right, so again, step out of every distraction, step into being focused. The world needs your unique gifts, talents, and abilities, ladies and gentlemen. Don't leave this world with those gifts still unwrapped inside you. And again, thank you all so much for tuning in to episode 35 of my weekly Step Out Step In podcast, live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow, like, share, comment, and support me by buying me a coffee. I've seen some stars on Facebook as well. Don't forget to just click on those stars as well. And let's connect every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we watch this space. And again, as a sign off, I'm wishing those in the United States a wonderful July 4th, Independence Day. Enjoy the day. Stay safe with all the firecrackers and the fireworks. And until we meet again, same time next week, have a wonderful, fruitful, amazing, and a productive week. This is David Joe signing off, and I say goodbye.